What's going on, traders? Are you ready to see what trade I called out this morning and nailed it to the key? Let's take a look at that action. And of course, none other than the House of Mouse getting shorted. And we are starting to get a little bit of some downside action here. We need to take a look to see if we can take opportunities here. But I will let you guys know it's not all in the green, right? Like always, we are going to have some losers. I'll be transparent. I'll tell you exactly on which stocks I lost today. And which stocks, of course, are doing good. Like always in swing trading action, it's not about the loss and wins, right? It's more about keeping these losses small and getting these winners to expand to get us that nice return, right? What we're all looking for. As you guys can see here, Disney, not a bad day there. Was able to get a position sized into about, it's not a monster position. It's only like 40 shares short, but 95 tens, not bad at all. Definitely going to continue to watch this though. Looking for it to continue to leak down, especially into the daily, right? There's a gap down below. First low that I'm looking at is yesterday's low, which was 93.64. As we cut that, I look to take maybe some profit. Maybe I take half. Maybe I take a third. But looking to see this continue going lower there. One thing is I definitely feel a lot better today now that this is down to 94s. And it's just showing me what? Well, that I'm in a position of what I call of conviction. And I'm in position of strength, where the stock has gone really far from my entry. And this is the good thing about swing trading, is that you're able to just let the stock do the work for you. What do I mean by that? That, hey, the down action has come from Disney itself, right? It's not me making it go down. The market's working for me versus I am working for the market. And I think that this is important out there, traders. I feel like there's too many traders that don't understand what I mean, but hey, you guys smash the like. Let's get to the action. If you guys are catching some stocks, definitely let me know what you guys are seeing. Will we see some heavy selling going into the weekend? Well, let's take a look at it, right? Let's go to the Qs. Let's take a look at what's going on. I just saw a recent little spike down, so let's bring that up. I'm going to bring down this screen. We can go to the trading action in just a second, but let's go to my TC. Of course, like always, I'd like to tell you guys, you got to have some different what? Well, you got to have some different ammo to get after. Please start the stream on time. I'm sorry about that, guys. I had some camera issues here to deal with. So just rolling with it, man. Rolling with it. I had and it has to do with my kind of battery for my Canon camera, but don't stress about that, team. Let's take a look here at the Qs. Of course, the Qs are starting to come down here right around 330. We started to do a little bit of a spike down. Now the only question is, do we close below the opening price here at 385.67? Let's see what happens now. We just bounced right near that level, right? 385.74 right now, a low of 385.45 on the 5-minute. Let's see if it starts to come down. Now, where did I lose today? Well, I lost a little bit on Apple as this came back and spiked through the 190s. My risk was right around this 190 spot. And I think this is one that I actually like. I actually cut this one for a trade this morning, which had a better entry. I had 190.30s, took some gains, then went back after it as I saw it coming back up. And I feel like this one is really not a bad one. But the truth is that I'm battling in technology where it's been the strongest area. So that's going to be a little bit more of a battle. And then Tesla. I also came after Tesla today and got stopped out on that one. I think I didn't give myself enough room on this Tesla one, but it wasn't a big loss. It was just as it came back up here towards like the 235 spot around. It was around like, I think 2 o'clock, 2:30s, right around this little spot right here where it spiked up to 235s. I got to that point. I was like, nah, I'm just going to go ahead and just cut this. I really shouldn't see it get back above that. And it does seem like it's setting up like a little head and shoulders up here, but I'm all out of that one. That is one that I lost on. And then Meta was one that I lost on earlier in the day. That's continued going upward, and this was going against the market. And that should have told me something, right? When you catch that, you want to go ahead and kind of get out of that quickly, right? The key here is to expand the winners and cut the losers small. Now, there is another one that I'm coming after here, and I can give you guys the entry here. It's 465.68. So essentially, I am down on this position here, is looking for a reversal on Netflix. And a lot of this is, let's say, can we reverse off of this area? Or are we going to go into the next gap up, which would be a move where it pushes into this space? And if it does go into that gap, yeah, we're not going to be a part of this trade. But really what I'm looking at is especially is yesterday's high, which is 467.50s. If that can hold and we start to come down, Netflix won't be looking too bad to turn around. And a lot of times I look at Disney and Netflix very similar. Sometimes when Netflix starts to run up, Disney starts to make the move also. And Netflix is definitely on historical high RSIs, right? That's what I always like to refer back to know when I can start looking for the turn. So right around here, I would say it's definitely historical. There's been what? Maybe 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times that it's spiked over this. 4 times in what? We're talking 6 years. So that tells me, yeah, we're definitely overbought on the extended side. Now, the only question is, can these levels hold, or will we make a move back up into this space? Let's say back up into like the 479s. We'll find out here towards the end of the day if we're going to keep this one. But like always, got to take some shots, guys. Right now, I do have a stop set here, and I'm going to set it up towards like 466.49, which is only about $16 risk. So it's not too much, but looking to take a shot. Really, we're going to work that Disney position. That's what should make us the returns. That's what even get me back some of these losses, if not all the losses on this Disney trade. We'll find out what happens there. Let's go to the SPY. Let's go to the Qs. Let's take a look at what's going on in the market. The SPY is kind of just hanging here, just going sideways. We definitely are overbought. The only question is, can it keep going? Yeah, it could always keep going. We'll have to see what happens there. Elon is on shaky ground, that's for sure. Comments that he's making and things like that are not going to help him. And then the other thing that I've talked about, and I've talked about this for a while, the current environment isn't looking good for Elon Musk, especially Tesla. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other action in the markets here. And of course, if you guys have stocks, feel free to throw them up if you guys want to check those out. Energy getting a bounce today, but now starting to fade away. This is kind of what I wanted to see. I still have the XLE, so let's talk a little bit about that as this comes back towards the trend line. And I'm thinking about adding. And that's when I got to be a little bit careful, right? Because if I add too early, I ruin my average. And the next thing you know, I'm down on the position. So just to give perspective and to kind of give it the outlook of where I'm in, I have XLE towards 85.58. We're talking up in this space, right? Well, it's pretty close to getting there. Even today, got up there back towards 85.25s. So I'm going to continue to watch it. If it gets to my break even, I'll get stopped out. But if it gets closer, let's say 85.40s, or we can start to see this come back down through the 84s, that's when I can start adding to look for the 82 breakdown and back into the 80s. What's going to depend on this? Well, of course, you got to take a look at WTI. At least that's what I watch as the underlining asset there for crude front month. And what do you see today? A nice run back to 76. And what were we at recently? We were at 72s, looking to break the 70 support. So that's what I'll be continuing to watch. Do we break the support of 70s and work our way into the 60s? If we can do that, then yeah, this should continue coming down. If not, if we start working our way into 80, that's going to tell me also that it might be time to hit the road and head out. All right, let's keep going. What else is put out there? And Gerard, you can look it up, man. There's a lot out there that Musk is saying. Let's just say that much. Let's keep going. What else is being mentioned here? Wisdom. Mitch, get that Zim on a swing and ding. Hey, let's take a look at that one. I know you've been calling out those shippers, and I have caught some shipping stocks moving. I don't know if Zim is specifically that one, but it's trying. It's trying, my friend. We'll see what happens there. I like how you're finally getting this kind of green weekly, right? Let's see it close there, right? And then what I will do for you is I will set an alert here at 794. If we can start making our way above 8s, then maybe we can start playing this one. I'll keep an eye on it, Wisdom. I'll let you know what he got. I don't care what Musk says. He got me 7 figures of capital. Hey, that's how a lot of people treat what Elon does, Wisdom. You're not the only one. Look at it, Mitch. It's pooping. Which one is pooping, man? Tesla? Oh, man. Tesla, let's see it. Let's take a look here on the 5 minute. Yeah, I mean, it does look like it has like a little head and shoulders here, but I already came after this today, guys. I got out at the 235.95. So right here on this little bounce back, I had like 30 shares. So I tried to size in it, took like a $35 hit there. It wasn't a massive one, but we'll see what happens there in Tesla. All right, let's get to the sectors out there. Of course, we talked about energy. Let's go to financials as those are finally slowing down. And this is where I saw rotation go. So a lot of people were looking at let's say the Qs and the technology names this week, but really, did those move significantly? No, not really. Even Apple, Microsoft, they continued a little bit higher, but they haven't really broken out since that real push from the CPI. And then another thing to kind of keep an eye out is where did they go? Where did they rotate? Well, they definitely rotated to these banks, pushing them higher. I definitely would stay away from this because you guys know how I feel about banks. And some traders even saying that banks are uninvestable. Well, I think somebody definitely invested in them this week as those went higher. This is the problem of sometimes having long-term, medium term, and short term outlooks. This is why I stress so much in having 3 time frame kind of outlooks. Overall, long term, and in the medium term for banks, I am very bearish. Right now, they could continue riding higher. We'll have to wait and see. Now, Netflix starting to get in the green for me. A little part of me is feeling like stepping up to the plate here in Netflix, but I need to see the Qs continuing to drop to show me that we want to go back into that gap. Let's see if the Qs can give me a quick drop to 385 here in the next 3 or 4 minutes. If they do that, I'm going to start hammering some more of Netflix. And I could add more of Disney, but that ruins my average. I'm really close to my average on Netflix, so it won't ruin my average. If I step up to the plate, just got to do what? Minimize the risk. Right now, the risk in Netflix is only $16. Why? I want to hold this throughout the weekend and look to see that I come back on Monday and Netflix is paying me after I watch Netflix all weekend. Hey, nothing wrong with that, right? Might as well get some payment back after I watch it all weekend. We'll see what happens there on some Netflix action. And maybe do I watch some Disney Plus action this weekend? I might, just because I'm shorting it. I might have to watch some Disney. Hey, this is how it is sometimes. All right, let's get into other stocks here. Of course, we can talk industrials. Those kind of hang in there today. This has been kind of an interesting trade, right? I'm keeping an eye on like Cat and Deere, but GE, man, the monster that can't stop, man. Early on, I caught this trend, and I talked to a lot of like bigger, like let's say more experienced investors, and they all were looking at this ugly. Like they don't like GE at all. And I think this is the problem sometimes of going towards the older traders because they get something stuck in their bias about how negative GE has been in the past. But really, if you're a trader, let's say from 23 on, I mean, GE has been an absolute monster trade. So that's how it can be very different depending on the perspective of who you're speaking to, right? It could be someone that has really probably gotten hurt on GE as in the recent past, but look at that move. That's a monster move. For overall for the year, this thing is up a whopping 85% on a name like GE that runs and moves very slow. Like a daily move on GE, $2.16. Not a big runner, but a big move. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is here. Technology. Will it finally start to leak up here? Apple still down from the open. Microsoft still down from the open. Google still down from the open. Nvidia still down from the open. The only one that's really up at the top is Meta. We'll see what happens with these names coming into the close. And they're already starting to see a hit there in Netflix as the Qs are probably showing a little weakness here. Let's see if we do get it. Ooh, looks like the Qs are bouncing, but Netflix coming down. Well, I don't feel too bad about that one. and we'll see what happens there in Netflix. The good thing about Netflix is I don't need too much shares to make a good money, and I have a decent amount already. So we'll see what happens there on Netflix, if it can keep coming down here, and especially if we can get a nice little break here towards the close. Let's see if we get it. Anything back above, like, let's say 467, that tells me to get out. We'll find out what happens here. Nvidia earnings next week, and you are right, Boba plays as it goes into the 21st. And let's just be honest, it's going to be a light week until that Nvidia report comes. And then after that, you get what? You get Thanksgiving. There's not going to be many traders at the desk, maybe even the day before Thanksgiving. So that Nvidia report is going to be massively important, because if not, it could stomp on the rally. Does it mean the technology is coming all the way back down? No, but it could definitely put some, let's say, a brick wall on this rally. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is being mentioned out there. It's good to see you guys out there, team. Nice pump in Crocs. Let's take a look at that. I didn't catch that one. Let's talk a little bit about it. In the Crocs, we were looking at this one earlier in the week with on and looking to see if Nike would take lead and then see these stocks come back. And Crocs does not look too bad there. Let's take a look at Nike. Nike's hanging in there. It did get back above, earlier in the week, was right around here on this red pullback. And I was looking to see if it'd get back above that 109. It made a move, but still holding kind of in the 9 EMA. Nothing super strong there. On actually doing a lot better. This got hit on their earnings, which was down here on Tuesday. And now you're starting to work your way back. Doesn't look too bad there. I'll keep an eye on these names. Also, recently, we saw the leader get hit, and that's going to hurt it as it got a downgrade on deck. But you can't fight deck too much, man. This thing has been an absolute monster in footwear and accessories. If you don't know Deckers Outdoor, well, you maybe should, because it's definitely the best footwear and accessory stock out in the market right now. It's not Nike, it's Deck. All right, let's keep going, team. Let's see what else is being out there. Jerry, what up out there, Jerry? You want to take a look at Celsius? All right, I need some Celsius after a day like today. It's been a busy one, that's certain. I got a little cranberry action. Let's take a look here at Celsius, as of course they did a little bit of a split to make it a little bit more attractive to investors out there. And this looks like it's struggling a little bit, but I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that defensives were struggling a little bit. I'd keep an eye on this monster, right? If we fill the gap completely and we start to come down, that would be a little bit of a concern with me. But if I could see this start moving back to 57, and I could see Celsius start moving back above, let's say, this one's a little bit harder one because of the way that the support is setting up underneath it. It's trying to hold on to this kind of 50 spot, but it could come into this gap and then come back. That's what I would be looking for. I always like to see gap plays kind of fill and then come back. So maybe it goes to the 200 exponential and then starts working its way back around through 50. The 200-day exponential is around 48.18. So I'd look for maybe a 48 move and then to come back through 50 if I want Celsius. But look at that action. That's not the best since, now you have what? 1, 2, 3, what is that? That's 13 days, 9 bars, all red. All right, let's keep going. Man, sick and tired of PayPal. And that's how it goes sometimes when we're trying to catch a falling knife, right? It moves up and it starts to get going. You're thinking this is going to make you a lot. And the truth is it's just a slow type of move. But realize it still has made like a what? Like, let's see, the top gain like 15%. Not bad, guys. One thing that I think we need to all keep in mind is that you're not always going to get, let's say, 30, 40% returns. That's very unlikely and almost unheard of in this space. Just look at the best financial traders, right? Even the best swing traders, right? They're going to be looking for probably a lot less, guys. I can tell you guys, at least for me, I have found that sweet spot between, let's say, 4 and 6%. And then when things are going great, 8 and 10%. I'm not looking at 20 or 30% or 40% returns. The truth is, I need to hit those kind of base hits, 6, 10% trades, take them in, take them out, keep battling. Then it gives me the opportunity. Because a lot of times I'm risking about 2%. on these positions. And what does that give me? Well, if I'm getting back 6 and all the way up to 10% on these gains, then I can lose 5 times and I still haven't ruined those gains. 5 times. I'll tell you one thing, I think I could at least get around that, right? And this is what really helps me. All right, let's get back to the market. Let's take a look at the closing action. It's 4 p.m. here. About to wrap it up, team. But let's take a look at the Qs. And I did not add on Netflix there. A little part of me wants to, but since I have Netflix and Disney, I'm just going to hold on to those and we'll see what happens. Here you guys see the positions as the market's closed now. Netflix essentially in the red slightly here. Disney up a decent amount, right? I'm up over a point. And then if you look at the XLE, just slightly up there as it's up there towards 84.71. And I've been holding American since Monday. I'm going to continue holding American. And best trade of the week has to definitely have been towards the XRT. What a move. And it actually came back up today. Was able to take this one from 59 up there, sell it into the move, not yesterday, but prior to yesterday into Wednesday's move, and took a nice 8% winner there on XRT. That's what it's all about, guys. Smash the like. Pinkies on up. It's the weekend, guys. Go have a great time. If you guys want to hang out and see a great show coming up next, hear all the rumors, facts, and updates from the New York cannabis industry. That's coming up next, as of course the Dales Report guys and the Trade to Black podcast kick it right after this. Great personalities. So if you're interested in the cannabis industry, or maybe just want to talk about Snoop Dogg, stop smoking? Well, find out, of course, on the next show. That's coming up next, so don't go anywhere, team. We always got a lot more for you guys at Benzinga. And if you guys want to always keep up with me, you guys know where to find me, of course. That's going to be at MoneyMitchBZ on Twitter. Try to keep up with me whenever you guys can. I always try to put out different kind of conversations. And if you guys catch a stock that's moving, you ever want me to talk about it or cover it here, that's what it's all about, really. So let me know, guys. Hit me up. I will always do my best to give you guys a great transparent look into the market. Tell you guys where I see the sectors moving, the industries that are moving. And like always, try to show you guys a little bit of my swing trading action, because that's where I think you guys learn from the most, is seeing me take these types of trades and trying to minimize the losses, minimize those losers, and expand the winners. Start swing trade, where you guys get the swing trade action, and of course the sectors and industry, what was hot and what was not. I'll see you guys back on Monday. Stay safe out there, and like always, a little pinky up action. I see you guys in the chat. That's what it's all about, guys. Enjoy some stake action. Get that stake action. Enjoy it. Guess what? We'll be back next week, and you guys know it. It's going to be Thanksgiving. So either way, like always, I'm thankful for you guys, and let's get after it. I'll see you guys a little bit on Trade the Black podcast. Don't go anywhere.